Hey there once again, everybody out there in YouTube land. It's me, your host, Johnny, and I am live from my mother's basement one more time. Coming here talking to you about TNA Impact last night, 23rd of February 2012. As you can see, I'm fresh-faced, shaven, ready to start my day at 4:15 p.m. Oh yeah, way to overachieve. It's a rainy, crappy, nasty day outside. I wasn't going to do this review, but in the absence of many other folks' reviews that I normally follow being up for TNA, I thought that I would just give my 2 cents and hopefully, that would spur some conversation. So I must say that, first of all, as a disclaimer, that I'm a huge fan of Robert Roode and him being the World Heavyweight Champ for TNA. Also, as a disclaimer, I'm very biased to how TNA is rotating their main event scene and how it feels a lot fresher and, for me, a lot more exciting than the same old WWE stuff. Granted, I guess you could say that Punk is a new WWE champion for them and Daniel Bryan is a new world champion for them. But I feel like the way in which they have had the title and carried the title has not been as impressive as Robert Roode. And if you want to make a dispute of that, if you want to disagree, go right ahead. I love to have conversations about wrestling. I'm not trying to be, a TNA mark. And I'm not trying to say that everything that WWE is doing is terrible. Quite to the contrary, I really like what WWE has done with Cody Rhodes. It's one thing I can think of off the top of my head, but this isn't a WWE video, so we can address that another time. We've done plenty of audios between myself and Dreamboy899, about different WWE topics. WWE just seems a little bit stale, I think, in the fact that they're giving us Undertaker, Triple H again. Um, you know, so to me, that's kind of always looming in the background, and this Rock Cena shit with their Twitter war and how it's just been like in our face, and it seems like the most emphasis they give to anything, even at Elimination Chamber, that Cena and Rock at WrestleMania was really the focal point of the whole pay-per-view, was what it seemed like, and we get all the video packages and whatnot. So, getting back to TNA Impact, I do love the fact that they're using Robert Roode and that he's a young horse for them, kind of new to the race in the main event scene. He's been with that company a long time, and it's nice to see a guy rewarded for, his dues. Paying the dues and being there for a while, being loyal, being a company man. Now, would I be entirely opposed to seeing him, go to a WWE and see what he could do there? No. I always think that it's great for the talent to have, upward mobility still from where they are. I think that even being on top of TNA, as good as it's been, it's still not the ultimate prize in the business. They're still not the big leagues yet, if I could see a Robert Roode, at a WrestleMania, that would really, to me, that would make me happy as a wrestling fan, because it's really somebody I feel that deserves that spot. But, needless to say, the whole thing with Sting being done and or retired and all that, the whole concept is kind of screwy, but I like where they were going with it. I like how they presented it, and everybody out there that's over the age of 12 could probably figure out and discern for themselves that this was just going to lead up to Sting versus Robert Roode at Victory Road in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever the hell it is coming up. I forget what day it is often, so forgive me. When you live in a dark basement like this and just have artificial light all the time, you kind of lose track of time and space, and concepts, essentially everything other than YouTube and wrestling and the internet. You know, if I didn't have Wi-Fi down here, I'd be lost. I wouldn't even be able to order pizza. So I liked the opening promo. I liked how it was kind of short, you know, in relation to other promos that we've had. I like how Sting didn't immediately come out and tell him that he would have something to say later in his face, kind of thing, you know, kind of leaving it for the main event. So it was kind of nice. Whew. You know, by my yawning, you'd think that I wasn't actually excited at all about this show, but, you know, when it opened up, I was actually feeling pretty good about it. I guess overall, you know, with this whole show, like there's things that I could critique in bits and pieces and, you know, really criticize certain things or not, but I think we all feel a lot better when I don't tear it down and do that and nitpick. I think that I should continue to, you know, aim for the positive and look for the positive in wrestling because that's why I'm still a fan, not because of the same old shit or the things they never seem to learn from or what's bothering me that particular week, you know. I really like what they're doing with the tag titles. I like the team of Magnus and Samoa Joe. I don't think I've been shy about saying that. You know, to me, it's a very enjoyable, you know, team, and it's a very enjoyable feud to see them win the title, to be able to break up Morgan and Crimson, which was their whole plan anyway, and to get that kicking in time for, you know, Victory Road and or probably a culmination at Lockdown with a possible Crimson, you know, heel turn in the works. I feel like Morgan, you know, is definitely a bigger star than they're giving him credit for being. And by breaking him off from Crimson now, they can put him back on the path to go higher and higher in that company. I think that, you know, maybe before inserting him um, into that title scene in the main event, maybe, just maybe, he should carry the TV title for a while, just to say that he's had another, you know, held another singles title in that company, rather than just go from being a multiple time tag champion to being into the main event. But I do like Matt Morgan, and it's kind of funny because I don't generally root for the good guys, but I see a lot in Matt Morgan that is, you know, has developed over time, and that, I mean, I can really relate to. I like his little nuances in the ring. I like the way that he interacts with the crowd. He's doing really well for himself. I am yawning like hell, and I apologize. If all of you are falling asleep too, then, whew, I don't know. Just outside is really gray and nasty. Today's been crappy with the weather, and for whatever reason, I just cannot get it together. Maybe I should drink some more of what today's program is brought to us by today. That's Coca-Cola Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste and 0 calories. With more formaldehyde and preservatives in here to make you dead. But hey, at least you look good. Ugh, that's warm. Nice. Anyway, I would like to see some more tag team wrestling in TNA. You know, more competition wise, a ladder to climb up so that they have, you know, not just the team of Samoa Joe and Magnus against some other team, but to showcase more tag team wrestling. I liked what they did with the random, you know, tag tournament, but I think that they should just have tag teams, you know, waiting in the wings and ones that are formed to use the talent that's on that roster. And plus, I would like to see the Motor City Machine Guns come back and have a good feud with, you know, Joe and Magnus, and then to really re-stimulate and revitalize that tag division. So there's something to think about. And who thought that I wouldn't even be done covering a half hour of the show in approximately 10 minutes worth of camera time? I have a tendency to go on at length, and if, you know, it's not exciting enough for you, I apologize. It's just me, it's my thoughts. I'm the one doing the review. You guys are free to do your own reviews, as video responses, leave comments, make it more exciting. I'll tell you that I thought that the women's match last night was very entertaining, as much as I knew that ODB didn't have a friggin' chance. What what really does it for me, I think, is the association with Eric Young. Eric Young is a very talented performer, likes to get the crowd involved. He's very over the top, and I think that the sooner that the ODB and Eric Young thing kind of plays out and does its own thing, the sooner the two of them can actually go and have a better career. I don't know why they got thrown together in the first place, other than to be like a very short comedy routine. I'm glad it's gotten the warmer reception that it has, but I think that it's going to get annoying soon, and it should really kind of die. They should just kind of do their own thing. Eric Young should still be in matches. He shouldn't be ODB's cheerleader all the time, especially if she's not going to get pushed up the card. Just wonder, like, how long can you keep people at a level where they are at that glass ceiling and they can't go anywhere kind of feeling. And talking about people that with a glass ceiling, why is Madison Rayne pushed as high as she is on the card? And do you really need to be challenging Gail Kim for the Knockouts title when you've had your time in the sun and you're really not one of the better knockouts in that division, Madison Rayne? I just don't know. I enjoyed her microphone work. I thought that her backstage segment wasn't really that bad. I'd much rather watch that than the Brandon Jacobs crap. But she just doesn't have it in the ring to me. And as much as she might improve in the next 5 years, I think that you should reserve a spot coming up with your more prominent pay-per-views coming up, that it should be probably Velvet Sky, who has at least the crowd behind her, or even Winter, or Angelina Love, somebody that hasn't been in that title scene, since back last year. Somebody they haven't used to death already. Just my thoughts. Anyway, I think Gail Kim is a very good champion for them right now. It certainly adds a lot of variety that they can do to that roster instead of having Mickie James in the title scene every month. Mickie James is a really good worker for them, and she's a very great knockout, and I have nothing against her. I really get tired of seeing her week after week if it's not to help out some of the other knockouts on that roster. What else happened this week? We got more of the Brandon Jacobs crap. The guy is a terrible talker, and just be glad that show's taped so that they can show you the best one that he did, because I would, honest to God, hate to see the worse. I wish that James Storm, could just get involved with this program with Bobby Roode already. We've waited long enough for this, I think. I'm glad they didn't throw them right together, and made them wait. But after seeing Jeff Hardy in that fucking thing, I've seen for a while, and he didn't deserve it, I don't see why we have to put those two together on a team to face Bully Ray and Kurt Angle. Just, stupid idea for a match. But hey, it gets some star power out there toward the main event, and for whatever reason, I guess it was good for business. I guess I just wasn't as entertained as I could be because of this stupid celebrity involvement that they keep having week after week. When it's not Jersey Shore people, they're bringing in New York Giants. And although I am from New York, I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. And honestly, I didn't give half a rat's ass about the Super Bowl as much as I was stirring up trouble at the party that my girlfriend's father was having. Being the typical loudmouth New Yorker and rooting against the Patriots because they really don't need another victory. I had no vested interest in this other than eating prime rib. So as delicious as that was, Brandon Jacobs isn't even really a big star to me, and I don't understand why he's involved in the TNA wrestling, for 2 weeks or so. And I really hope that they don't have a pay-per-view match between him and Bully Ray. That would, So, there were some other things on tonight tonight's Impact, or last night's Impact rather, that I kind of could get behind. And one of the most hilarious things I thought was that, you know, double himself. I almost said double A. He's not Arn Anderson. He's Austin Aries. He's the greatest man that ever lived. And if I can't get that right, may the Schleg Daddy's lightning bolt strike me dead now. We're good? Yeah. Oh! Nope. Didn't happen. Apparently I'm forgiven. Yeah, so Austin Aries, you know, great, great X Division champion. I really must say that I enjoy him. I think that you're going to see him pull a face turn, or at least become a tweener really soon. I don't think that he's going to stay a heel for very long. The crowd is too into him. Um, you know, and he's red hot. He's been such a great champ for them in the X Division, and I think that he should definitely break the record of being the longest reigning X Division champion. You know, he definitely deserves that accolade. Um, I'd like to see him drop the strap to somebody very deserving and then start climbing up the ladder and, you know, move up to, you know, even the main event. I think one day he can have a great reign as TNA's, you know, big time champ. I think that he has really great matches. I think that his work on the microphone is second to none. He is a total professional, and he's definitely in the right craft. I can't say enough good things about him. Zema Ion versus Alex Shelley, I thought was a very entertaining match, and I think that the right person went over here in Zema Ion, not only being number one contender, but I think that seeing an Alex Shelley upset a young guy like a Zema Ion at this particular point, you know, when Shelley already had an X Division title match, couldn't get the job done, and now it's kind of Zema Ion's turn, I would think. You know, he's next in line, so why would you want to steal his thunder and have Shelley go over? I like how they incorporated the hairspray. I like a lot of the pacing of this match. I think Zema Ion is going to go places in that company. And although I really am hating his hair at the moment, it's really annoying to me. I like what they're doing with him. I think that it's a great way to build a new talent in that division. And, you know, once Austin Aries decides that he wants to get rid of that belt or they want to put it on somebody else, I think you're going to see Zema Ion, even in the next year, start to be a very big player in that division for them. So there's that. Trying to remember what the hell else happened. Oh yeah, they had AJ Styles against Robbie E. And although we had a backstage segment talking about how focused we were to get back into the title shot picture and how he was done with Kazarian and Daniels, which he really should be done with Daniels. That storyline is so stupid. But, you know, I saw the writing on the wall, and I really didn't want to. I just wanted AJ to take the fucking title off of Robbie E and for him to go back to square one developmental. Get Robbie T off of my television. They're not using him for anything. He doesn't deserve to be on it. Why are you still in the company? You can't do any wrestling moves. Go away. Oh, now that that's been said, I'm surprised that Robbie E lasted in the ring against an AJ Styles as long as he did. And if this is their way to try to prove that Robbie E belongs, maybe that's the right guy to do it with. But do you really have to continue this incessant feud with Kazarian and AJ, and then have Daniels pulling strings somewhere? Like I don't understand where this is going. I don't care. You know, I saw this all of last year. The Daniels and AJ thing. You know, it was almost as long going on as the Angle and Jarrett feud. And I think it's time for it to die, have its rightful place, and be done. It's not a secret that I don't like Jeff Hardy, so yeah, whatever. You know, you can feel the way that you want to. I'll respect your opinion if you do enjoy his performance. It's just that, you know, I can't get behind a guy that's, you know, a continuous offender with drugs and, you know, really fucked up Victory Road last year. You know, going into it this year, I don't even understand why they put him on the card. You know, I would consider that, you know, as a punishment almost, you know, for doing it. Like, Sure, he's kind of a draw, but he's no longer in the title scene, and apparently you really haven't developed this feud with Angle. So why would you involve it for Victory Road yet? It kind of comes out of nowhere. They didn't explain it. They just had a match between Hardy and Storm and Angle and Bully Ray, and this should be the time where Bully Ray starts to get his shot too. Um, I think that James Storm should have to face Bully Ray as one of his people that he has to defend the title against after he wins it. And I really do see James Storm winning this title soon, if not at Lockdown and at a pay-per-view thereafter. I think that he and Storm should be a feud that continues for a while. I think that giving Storm the belt at Lockdown would be a good way to make um, kind of make a shifting title. You know, like Rude win it back, Storm win it back, Rude win it back, and then they settle it with one big blowout after the fact. Like, I could see that going back and forth. You know, and save it for the pay-per-views. Don't always have it on fucking television the way that they did it the last time it changed hands. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. Am I looking forward to Sting versus Rude? Yes and no. Sting should probably retire from ring action. I don't think that he really has it anymore. You know, as a colorful guy to have on the programming and as a legend, yes, keep him around, have him make executive decisions, but I don't see him going the distance. I don't see this match with Rude being all that good at Victory Road. Does Rude need to have somebody on his list of people like a legend that he's knocked off in the process? Yes, but even if he does get Sting here, Sting's still going to be involved in that product, and he's not going to just go away into the sunset kind of thing. And I have a really bad feeling that since it's not for the title, that they might let Sting actually get the upper hand. Just a sneaky suspicion I have. Rude needs that victory, and you know it, TNA. And Sting is, you know, not the most selfish guy. You know, he's no Jeff Jarrett, so this would really be the time to put over Rude. Just throwing that out there. All in all, I would give this week's show like a C minus kind of grading. Like, you know, for me, even a D is still sort of passable. You know, but you know, this did have its moments, but to me, it really wasn't as entertaining as it could have been. It seemed a little bit thrown together. I can't stand the fact that AJ and Kazarian are still going at it, and Daniels is still involved in that somehow. Like that really brought it down for me. That's annoying. You know, I thought that Madison Rayne last week becoming #1 contender for the Knockouts title was stupid. So I know they have to build it to the pay-per-view, but every time I see Madison Rayne anymore, I'm thinking it's just going to lower the grade. Like, I really can't stand her. I think they can do a lot better with that roster that they have. I mean, there's so many women's wrestlers, you've seen it. You know, when does Sarita get her shot? Just wondering. She's a good enough worker. And I know that her versus Gail Kim would be two women that could, you know, get around in that ring. I don't understand. But hey, you know, since Pritchard took over and Russo's been gone, you know, and even when Russo kind of stepped down, Pritchard took over in general. I think TNA has been doing a lot better. I look forward to, you know, where they're going to go from here and what kind of a year they're going to have play out for them. I think that 2012 is going to be a very good year for TNA. And I pray that TNA doesn't fuck this up after I go on record of saying this multiple times this year in multiple reviews. Please leave me your thoughts, your comments. I really do enjoy them. I always get back to people that leave them. You know, I don't care about the number of subscribers I have necessarily. I'm not looking to get 1 million thumbs up on a video. I don't care if it gets 200 views or 2,000 views. I just really want you guys to interact with me and tell me what you think and talk wrestling. You know, the discussion in the YWC is almost a lost art. I mean, we tend to bicker a lot more than we discuss things. And like many other people that I follow and people that I do the audios with, you know, like Daniel Parkin, you know, NJ from the British Fist, Dreamboy899, who I referenced earlier, my own friend in real life, Dan Bigler, who I've done audios with about TNA's roster, even my girlfriend I'm talking wrestling with, Steffi, love her, and like guys like Mike Rout from the Off the Rope show I talked to. I'd love a chance to get to talk to Jeff Schlegel, but he seems like he's in the middle of battling some scam artist debt collector people, so I don't think he's going to be available for comment anytime soon. But if he was, I would like to try to get inside of his head and definitely talk TNA with him because I know that he follows it. I was always a bigger WCW fan than I was WWF, I'm not going to lie. I mean, sure, I followed the earlier WWF with Hogan and Macho Man and all them, and it was great. You can never say that it wasn't. But, when Ron Simmons won the WCW title, I was watching it, 91, 92, and I followed it, even when Hogan came in, and it was a big fucking deal. And I think a lot of that's been lost over the years, that just excitement and the way that we ate it up as fans back then, rather than now how it's almost marketed as a kids kind of thing now, like many of the adults either feel ashamed or get judged for it. And I say fuck that. Like, if you're a wrestling fan, you should be a wrestling fan for life, and you should be proud that it's it's what you do. And just throwing that out there. So if anybody wants to talk wrestling before this gets to be a half-hour long video, please leave me some comments. You can look for my Facebook group online. It's called Live from My Mother's Basement. You can request to join. I think there's 30 or 40 some odd members in it now. We usually post a lot of videos from other people that are doing them on YouTube. I know that the British Fist are in my group as well. So, you can see a lot of other people. There's Spaz Phoenix is in there. Nature Girl is there. Who the hell else haven't I said? I don't really know. Anyway, that's kind of it for now. Look forward to seeing what you guys have to write. Thanks a lot for being with me here on this rainy ass Thursday, and we'll have some more reviews coming soon. Peace out.